my channel where today I'll be doing my makeup like I did in 2020. I've been seeing a trend going around on TikTok where people kind of make fun of the idea of them being alternative during the pandemic. I just found it a bit sad that everyone on TikTok that I saw doing the trend was basically saying, oh god, why would anyone wear alternative clothing? So I thought it'd be fun to do this trend as someone who is still alternative. I'll flag up a few pictures on how I do my makeup on an everyday basis just so you can compare it a little bit. I feel like for some people watching it, it's going to look very similar, but for me it looks very different. So in 2020, I had a lot of blush on my face, which is something I don't really do anymore. I tend not to wear blush at all. I also had eyebrows at the start of 2020, not proper ones. I had like little tiny ones at the start of 2020. And because of that, even after I shaved my whole eyebrows off, I was still drawing eyebrows on a lot. And I was still kind of doing makeup tiers, but I'd also kind of moved on. I did makeup tiers for a very long time when I first started doing makeup. Probably all of 2019 I did tiers, and then obviously it kind of appeared in 2020, and nowadays I don't really do it because they take so long for some reason. I don't know why they always take me so long. And then the last thing that I've noticed about my makeup is my lips are very different. I either put on lipstick literally just up to my lip line, sometimes it's a little bit extended but not really, or I do like a blush in the middle of my lip but I don't extend it all the way to my lip line. I really don't like how this looks on me. It might just be because I'm very used to having very big lips now. I do a lot of blending. It goes pretty much all the way up to my nose at this point, so it's gonna be very strange seeing that on myself. I'm not really looking forward to that part of this makeup. But anyway, let's actually start. I'm gonna start with primer. This is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I can't really remember what primer I was using back then, or if I was using a primer at all. I may not have been using a primer at all, but I'm gonna wear one today because I'm not fully sure and I don't want to not wear one. Next, I'm gonna go in with foundation, which is something I haven't used all year. I can't remember the last time I used it, to be honest. Might have been early last year that I was still using foundation. Now back then, I know for a fact I was wearing full coverage foundation. I'm pretty sure it was that Maybelline Superstay foundation. I wore that for years. I don't actually have any of that anymore. The only foundation I still have is this Morphe one, which I may have been wearing at the end of 2020. I really don't know. I have a very bad memory. But anyway, I'm going to put this on. There's men walking on the roof over there. Why are they doing that? They don't seem to be doing any work. They're just hanging out on the roof. Okay, good for them, I guess. I stopped wearing foundation a long time ago, not necessarily because my skin got any better, but because it actually really overstimulated me having it on my face all day. It would irritate me so much. I just wanted to scratch it off my face. It was awful. I don't know why I put myself through that all the time. I know for a fact I loved how it looked, and I still like how it looks even in these photos. It's very doll-like, and that's an aesthetic I love so much. I love looking like a doll, but I shouldn't have put my aesthetic over my comfort, I don't think, because it meant I got dressed up less. I didn't wear makeup as much in this time period because it was so annoying having the foundation on. I couldn't do it. I didn't wear it to uni at all. I can't really remember when I started wearing makeup every day. It must have been last year, so it must have been 2021 that I started doing that. And it's honestly because I don't wear foundation anymore. I'm just so much more comfortable without foundation on my face. This one's better than that one though. This one's a skin tint, whereas that one was like wall paint on my face. It was so thick. I can't remember powdering my foundation until I bought this Morphe one, and that's definitely not the Morphe one. So we're going to skip powder and move on to the blush. For blush today, I'm going to use my Cult Candy Cosmetics Playhouse palette. I may have had this in 2020. I'm going to go with this pink blush here, and for this I'm going to concentrate it in the center of my face because I know for a fact I did that more often in real life. I'm pretty sure on Instagram I have it more like up over my forehead and onto my cheeks, but I definitely remember in real life always having it on the center of my face, so that's what we're going to do. Back then I wore a lot of orange blush because I had a palette with an orange that blended out so smoothly. I don't think I had that palette anymore. I either don't have it or it's at home, but I feel like this is going to have the same sort of feel as that one did. Now onto the eyes. For the eyes I did two shapes. I either did a very long pointed eye or I did a very round eye. Very similar to what I do now, except it's a little bit smaller. So it always tends to come underneath my eyebrow here, whereas now I tend to put it over the top of my eyebrow completely. But I guess that's because I don't draw eyebrows anymore. I don't need that gap for the eyebrows to go. For this, we're going to use this Sample Beauty palette. I definitely didn't have this palette back then, but the palette I did use was the James Charles palette, and I don't want to support him by showing that palette on camera. But let's not talk about that. I'm going to go in with this dark pink in this palette, and I think I'm going to do the pointed shape today. And I have to remember the whole time that I want it underneath my eyebrows. It's going to be really hard to do that. One thing I definitely wasn't using in this time period was these brushes. I did not own these. I still have remnants of the brushes I used back then. If you ever see me using those fishtail ones, they're from 2020. I got those from a Peacocks actually, which I don't think is still around anymore. At least I don't think it's around anymore. That looks so small to me. I really want to draw a line up here, but I can't do that because it won't look how I did it back then. Now I'm going to do the eye eyebrow, for this I'm going to go in with the same exact eyeshadow in this little eyebrow brush. And I'm kind of going to copy this blue one that I have a reference picture of, where it's darker on the tails and then lighter on the front. I completely forgot to mention that I wore contacts a lot in this period. I've been thinking about getting more recently because I think they look really cute and I miss them. But obviously all the ones I had in this period are completely dry by now. That looks so weird to me. That doesn't look right. I think I pointed the eye upwards too much. I feel like I would have done it more pointing towards the top of my ear, whereas I did it more up into my hairline. But I think it looked better like this, so we're just gonna leave it. I'm gonna go with a mascara now. This is the I Heart Revolution Tasty Watermelon Mascara. Back then I sometimes wore eyelashes, but I didn't always, so I'm using that as an excuse not to wear eyelashes because I really hate wearing eyelashes. I'm now gonna add a singular tear, completely inspired by one of the looks I'm looking at on my screen. And for that I'm gonna use this Suva Beauty eyeliner. I'm gonna go in with the yellow one. I was just about to activate it with setting spray, but I didn't do that back then, so I'm just gonna put some water in this lid instead. I have my water and I'm gonna use a little tiny brush and I'm gonna draw that little tear, making sure to make a triangle shape on my bottom lid because that's how I always did it back then. So that's one eye done. I'm gonna go do the other side off camera and then I'll come back for the rest of the makeup. So the other eye is now on and I think I like it a little bit better. I still wish it was a little bit bigger, and if I was gonna do this today and I had this exact look, so with the eyebrows as well, I would add a little spike down here just to add a little bit of interest. I did sometimes do spiky looks, but I didn't do spiky looks with eyebrows. I may have done, but I can't remember doing any of those, but I'm pretty sure I didn't mix spiky with eyebrows, so I can't do that today. We're now going to go on to the part that I was least looking forward to, which is the lips. So back then, I just basically drew my lips how they are normally. So it had the Cupid's bow, it wasn't any bigger. I did sometimes extend them, but very, very rarely. So I don't think I can get away with doing that today, but I really want to. I just want to make my lips look a little bit bigger. So we're going to go in with this Cult Candy Cosmetics liquid lipstick in BB. I'm pretty sure I didn't own this yet back then, but all my liquid lipsticks are now from this brand. And I'm going to use the same brush that I used for my tear, which I've washed off. Now I have nothing against this lip shape. It's just not my style and I don't think it really suits me. And I'm so used to blurring out the sides of my lips that it's going to look so weird. I really hate how this looks. I don't know, it just doesn't suit me. It's also not the right colour for this. Maybe I should go over with eyeshadow. It looks a little bit better now it's a different colour. This is just not my style whatsoever. I have things to do today. I'm gonna have to go outside in this. I didn't think that through. I may have to put a little bit of blending around my lip before I go out. Again, if you do your lips like this, I'm sure it looks great on you. It just does not look good on me. Now on to final touches. I'm gonna go with a little bit of setting spray. And then we're gonna go with a highlighter. I definitely did not own this back then, but I don't have any of my other highlighters here. I have some at home, but I don't have any in my apartment. So we're going to use this Kimchi Drama Queen palette instead, which is my current go-to highlighter. And we're going to go in with this one here. And I'm going to try and go in with a lighter hand than I usually do now, because it doesn't look like I'm wearing that much highlighter back then. And that's this makeup done. I hope you like it more than I do. I don't mind the eyes. I like the tear. I don't like the lips, but I feel like we've already gone over that. I quite like the blush actually. It's very subtle. I probably could have gone in with more, but I think it looks quite sweet. But I can't get over these lips. They don't suit me. I only really do this sort of lip shape when I do black lips, but I don't do the Cupid's bow. And then if I do Cupid bow, it's usually because I'm doing drag makeup, and then the lips are so much bigger that it doesn't look so small and tiny. I am glad that I didn't go for the just a little bit on the middle and blend it out, because that would look so much worse right now. But I'm going to stop complaining about the lips, and I will say thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like, comment down below what else you'd like me to do, and subscribe as I post a new video every single week, and I'd love to see you again. But until then, bye! You know what, I'm just gonna put a little bit more. I feel so much better now. It's amazing what a lip can do.